Okay, what happened to Jonah when he was in the belly of the whale? Let's talk about it. One, there is pride, right? There is pride, there is rebellion, there is judgmental spirit, there is a criticism spirit. There was a lot that Jonah was thinking. Why? Because Jonah thought he knew better than God. He thought that God was wrong. He thought he knew better. That's pride, right? Where he did not believe the people that God was calling him to go pray over or pray to or talk to deserved God's grace or forgiveness or mercy. So he thought he knew better than God. Sound familiar? Listen, God, you don't need to put me in a belly of a whale. You put me in a belly of a whale for like 20 minutes and I'm out. Like, I will surrender. I will lay it down. God, you are the best. You are the greatest. You can have it. I don't want it. Just get me out of this whale. Jonah was in there for 3 days. Can you imagine how prideful he must have been? He really thought he knew better than God. So let's ask ourselves, what do you think Jonah felt like when he was in the belly of a whale? Let's see, after 3 days, it was dark in there. It smelled in there. He was hungry. He was not hearing God's voice, right? God went silent on him. So think of all the things that were going on with Jonah that had to take place for that spirit of pride to be broken in Jonah. He's rebelling against God's obedience, right? God told him to go one way. He decided to go the other. And instead of surrendering to God, he sat there for 3 days. That means you were hungry, you were tired. I mean, I'll tell you what, you were stripped of everything you thought to be truth. We also, all of God's children at one point go through a season of Jonah. With women, listen, man, you let me know I'm in the belly of a whale, God, and I will let it go. I don't care what it is. I will lay it down. Like, I do not want to be in the belly of a whale. But men are prideful. Why? Because men are also really good leaders. Men are good leaders. So, of course, Satan is going to attack their leadership. Satan is going to attack them in certain situations, but God is going to allow it. Why? To show Jonah, just like he had to show Adam, that I am your creator. You don't know more than me. You don't know better than me. I'm God. Like, you, Jonah, are my servant. You are my son. I created you. So you telling me that you think these people don't deserve grace, or they don't deserve forgiveness, or they don't deserve me in their life is prideful. You are trying to be God. So I'll let you sit in the belly of a whale. Until what? Jonah finally came to the end of himself. What did he say? I surrender. He surrendered to God. As soon as he surrendered to God, God being the most merciful, amazing person that he is, he gave it all back to him. The whale spit him out. He went to where he was supposed to go. And even in that process, what did God show him? After he saved that town, what was God doing? He was still humbling Jonah. Because he allowed him to go through these trials, right? To strip him of the pride of thinking he knows better, to strip him of thinking he can do it without God, that he doesn't need God. That was the identification process. And then as soon as Jonah got there, God humbled Jonah by showing him, see, I told you, I know better than you. And then what happened? God gave it all back to Jonah. He gave him favor. He gave him blessing. He gave him his purpose back. God created you. So in order to know how to live, in order to know how to become firm foundation, in order to know how to be a man of God, in order to know how to lead your spouse, in order to know how to raise your children, in order to know how to be a kingdom person, a kingdom man, you have to go to the Creator. You have to get that knowledge from God himself. And guys, they need God. That the reason all these things that they had before in their life were because of God, not leaning on their own understanding.